This movie was interesting. The Ninth Life of Louis Drax. So The Ninth Life of Louis Drax is a brand new fantasy movie directed by Alexander AJ and stars Jamie Dornan, Sarah Gadon, Aiden Longworth, Molly Parker, Oliver Platt, Barbara Hershey and Aaron Paul. And in this movie, when accident-prone boy Louis Drax falls off the edge of a cliff and into the sea, he's pronounced dead upon arrival at the hospital, but then 2 hours later he miraculously comes back to life, which sparks the interest of Dr. Alan Pascal, played by Jamie Dornan. However, questions start to rise as to whether he actually fell or whether he jumped or whether he was even pushed. And that's the basic plot of this movie. I don't want to say anything else in case I spoil it for anyone who does want to go see this movie. I'll start with the good for this movie first. First off, the main cast do a great job in this movie. Jamie Dornan gives a good performance as Aiden Pascal. Sarah Gadon plays Natalie, who is Louis' mom. She was good in this movie, as was Oliver Platt, Barbara Hershey and Molly Parker. Even the kid in this movie, Aiden Longworth, gave a good performance. Not the best child performance I've seen this year, but he did do a good job. But Aaron Paul gave the best performance for me in this movie, in my opinion. He gave the most heartfelt and emotional performance out of the entire cast. What impressed me more is he didn't have as much screen time as most of the other characters, but for the times that he was on screen, I was transfixed by his character. And by the way he was portraying his character, he did a great job in this movie. And Alexander AJ, who you may know from most horror movies like the Hills Have Eyes remake, he takes a step away from horror in this movie to focus on the fantasy side. And I have to say he did a pretty good job. There are some pretty nice shots in this movie. However, what this movie suffers from the most is it doesn't know what type of movie it wants to be. Does it want to be this heartwarming family fantasy, this heartwarming miracle movie, this serious drama, or even a romance movie? There's even elements of horror and comedy thrown in this movie as well. And because all of those combined together just didn't work, the tone for this movie is all over the place. There are times where it's going down a road where I think, oh, this could be a pretty decent family movie, why is it a 15? And then all of a sudden a character says a swear word which just felt really out of place for me and it took me out of the movie. It also doesn't know if it wants to be a mystery crime drama either, which annoyed because the parts with the cops were one of the least interesting parts of the movie. And as the twists were unfolding in this movie, I started to dislike it and disbelieve it, which took me out of the movie even more. The tone and atmosphere for this movie just felt all over the place. Now the filmmakers didn't know what type of movie they wanted to make, so they just ended up combining as much as they could into one movie, and it just came off very, very messy. And at times during the movie I found myself getting lost, questioning some of the decisions that they decided to do in this movie. Now this movie is also based on a book, and I don't know if they stick to the source material fully. I personally haven't read the book that this movie is based on, but I'm hoping that in the book it's more contained and it makes more sense, because in this movie I just found myself getting lost and continually questioning what was going on. It has a very interesting premise, but the way they pulled it off just didn't work for me. Overall guys, the acting and directing is pretty good, but the story's not all that memorable and very confusing for me anyway. I didn't know what genre of movie it wanted to be, and in that the tone is all over the place. And I did find myself questioning things a lot throughout the runtime, and in that I kept pulling myself out of the movie, which means the movie didn't keep me interested enough in the story to make me just cast that aside and think about it later on, because whatever they were showing on screen just didn't make sense to me, that I had to think about it then and there to see if it was really necessary for the plot of this movie. And because of all that, I have to give The Ninth Life of Louis Drax 2 stars. If you like the book that this movie is based on, then you may like this movie a lot more than I did. And hell, it may make a lot more sense in the book than it does in the movie, or maybe I'm just overthinking everything. But that's what I thought of the movie. I found it confusing, and I found that a lot of things just didn't work for me. So, The Ninth Life of Louis Drax. Have you guys seen it yet? What did you think about it? Whatever you thought, let me know in the comment section below. Thanks as always for watching, guys. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share the video with your friends, and if you want to see more videos just like this one, then subscribe to my channel for more. Thanks again for watching. You guys are awesome, and I will see you all in the next video.